video 697. I made this. This is my 5th attempt at this video because I can't seem to make it. But I'm very sad today. I'm overwhelmed with sadness. Some frustration, some anger, but mostly I'm just sad. And maybe that's just the way things are going to be for a while. But I'm just sad. I I feel like when I say something, it's gonna be taken the wrong way, and I don't mean it that way. And maybe the best thing for me to do is to unplug from the world for a little bit. I thought about it. Maybe that's why I'm so gung-ho right now on Warhammer, Dungeons and Dragons. Escape. Escape. Escape from reality. But I'm going to say a few things which are probably not going to sound very nice. At this point in time, I am emotionally overloaded. In the last 3 to 6 months, I found out that I might have cancer. And it's been a little bit of a hard pill. Because I feel like I have my shit together. Well, not at the moment. But I had my transition. I made it through surgery. I made it through my post-surgery depression. Where you say, is this as good as it gets? And you're like, yeah, it is. And the idea that I suffered for 40 some odd years and I might die now, it's a hard pill to swallow. And I wonder what the future is. I'm very sad. I'm very sad. Seems like the world's just gone to shit. People are dying. Unnecessarily. Because our president just failed. And there are people out there saying 4 more years, 4 more years. It blows my mind. In time, we'll get through it. If I live to see it. Vaccine, and hopefully in 30 some odd days he'll get voted out of office, and then hopefully the Electoral College won't sabotage it, and then if he disputes it, hopefully the court system will uphold the election, and the Congress and the Constitution has mechanisms to, what happens if it's disputed. Um, Not a very happy, hopeful outlook, though, in the meantime. I'm very saddened by the racial injustices that are going on. I don't understand. I don't understand why people can't be nice to people. I don't get it. I don't get it. And yet I do get it. I'm a democratic socialist. I believe that maybe I shouldn't go under a label. I'll say me. But I think everybody should have access to health and mental care in this country. And it blows my mind that there are people who don't think that way. You know? Excuse me. Affordable health care. How the fuck can you not be against affordable health care? You know? How the fuck? How selfish. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, not everyone should be able to breathe air. Oh, oh, oh. You know, we're still living in you know, every other modern country on this planet. France, England, Germany. Our other members of the Big Seven, the Big Five, whatever you want to call them, they all have nationalized health care and we don't. It blows my mind. I'm saddened by it. I'm sad that people are turned away when they need help. And I have a lot of that experience right now because I'm getting bills from when I didn't have health insurance. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. My hospital stay when I had insurance was $300, $200. My hospital visit for my blood clot when I didn't have insurance was $2,000, $3,000 for the same fucking care. You know what I mean? It's not right. And maybe there's ways to address that. It saddens me that, like I said, in our own Breonna Taylor case, which is an emotional, it's got so much baggage, it should have its own horse and cart attached to it, but, on a much bigger picture, we're getting the opportunity to look at ourselves in different ways. And how have things been? It saddens me. It saddens me that people are hurt. It saddens me. Maybe I don't know. I treat people the same, regardless of who they are. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. And what can be done about it? Awareness. Running for office. Getting into the system and, making change. Those kinds of things that can be done. But for the moment, I'm just saddened by it. I'm sorry, I'm going to wipe my shirt. I will wash this shirt. I'm the only one who... Okay. But I'm just so saddened by it all. so saddened by it. And that's the way 2020 has been. We've got hurricanes coming in. And I lived in South Florida most of my life. Well, my early life, I should say. I was born in Fort Lauderdale. And, you know, as a I have a degree in geology. And I mean, anybody who builds their house on beach sand is fucked. The same way you build your house on a floodplain, it's fucked. You build your house in the middle of a forest, is fucked. People were not meant to live in certain areas, and we just have this idea that we can go wherever we want and do what we want, and we can't. And there's too many goddamn people on this planet. We are a virus, and we will destroy it. And the earth one day is going to go, you know what? It's time to shimmy shake. The plates will shift. You know, not to be too doomsday, but, you know, who's to say there wasn't a population like our own on Gondwanaland or Pangea? And they lived, they had society, they had technology. And the earth just said, you know what? It's time to shimmy shake. And plates moved, things got destroyed. Those people died. That's what's going to happen to us. And that doesn't diminish our responsibility. It doesn't mean we can do whatever we want, but life is so sacred. And I'm just saddened that, you know what I mean? But anyway. So for the moment, I'm just overwhelmed. Just overwhelmed. On the one hand, I'm worried that I might lose my job. Because I can't go work because of the protests, and you say, well, it's only a couple of days. Yeah, well, corporate America, you know, they can shift my job to another office. And I could lose my job. I could be unemployed. I won't have health insurance. You know, there's a lot up here that's going on. And I'm just saddened. I'm so saddened by it. For the moment. Action will come later. You know, my plan pre-pandemic was to volunteer teaching people to read. The library system has a program, and now I'm wondering if I need to do something else. Again, that's that civic responsibility. That's that, you know, be a active participant in change, working with the police department or the city council or, you know, government. If I live that long. But, like I said, humanity is just a blip. We can't seem to treat each other right. In America. Maybe it is the same way in other countries, but Hmm. You don't hear about race riots in Britain, right? And yet you can see the protests. So maybe not. Hmm. I guess it's a question for a bigger audience or a person smarter than myself. Why we can't get along? Hmm. I don't know, but I'm saddened by it. Anyway, I don't get it. I don't get it. There was a woman probably about 30 years ago, if not 20, who lived in England who was practically homeless. She still had a roof over her head, but it wasn't necessarily hers. She was penniless. She had kids. She was losing them to her husband. Illness. A lot of bad shit. But she had this idea about a different world. A world of bit of fantasy, bit of fiction. It had wizards in it. It had these really fanciful fantasy creatures. And it was a bit of a struggle of good versus evil. And inspired a lot of people to think about acceptance of people that were different than they were. And it's really kind of cool. And many years later, the same woman who was kind of living in as destitute, she now has a shitload of money, and she's living pretty well. Turns out she's transphobic, and that fanciful microcosm that a lot of us grew to love is being kind of crushed and taken away from us. And that's the kind of sadness that, again, it's piled up and piled up, and maybe that's what I'm feeling today. You know, I don't know. I think therapy, psychology, mental health is going to be a big field in the future, in the immediate future, as we deal with issues of change and whatnot. I hope there's some change on the horizon. I hope our president changes. I hope society changes. Again, there's the reaction of, anger. You know, the movie Network. That's what he says. He says, we're going to deal with change. We're going to do this. But for the moment, you got to get mad. You got to get mad. You got to say, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. That release. And maybe that's what we're seeing in right now, the protests. But I gotta say, it's an emotional. It's fucked me up. So on that note, I think it's time to move on. Give myself some downtime. I've got other things I need to do today. I'm still dealing with my blood. I don't understand how these things work. Like I said, geology I can talk to you about. Biology, not so much. The other thing too is as we get older, our bodies break down. And as you can tell, I'm getting older. So, seize the day and all that bullshit. But I'm gonna sign off. I gotta do other stuff. I gotta give myself time to process. But I just wanted to share. Yeah. I'm crying. I wish I had the estrogen to cry more. But do the best you can with what you got, right? Till next time. Bye bye, y'all.